Hey guys, it's a Laughing Auditor here, and I'm coming to you from this location. I'm in my bedroom again, ladies and gentlemen. Jeez, why do I keep finding myself in this situation? But I do have an update for you fine folks, and it's in relation to a recent video, namely Patchway Police Centre, where I was stopped, detained and searched, and then arrested under suspicion of having an offensive weapon. And as you've seen in the video, I went into the police station and lodged a formal complaint. If you haven't seen the video, here's what happened.
Hi buddy.
Whoa, what are you doing?
I'm just taking you for a stop search this morning, mate.
Why are you grabbing me?
So I'm just taking you for a stop search.
For what?
So there's been an allegation that you've got a knife. I can see it doesn't look like. Yeah. Okay, so I am PC. Yeah, I am PC 1810 price.
What?
Be careful behind your back.
Whoa, I'm not resisting, I'm not resisting.
Yeah, that's fine.
What are you doing, man?
Okay. Off Patchway Police Centre.
At least take the bag off me before you put the cuffs on, gentlemen. Come on. I don't have a knife. That's preposterous. Ow, 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 don't twist the cuffs. What are you doing, man? Wow, you guys have messed up to the next degree.
So, as I was saying, I am PC 1810 price.
These are really tight, you know.
They're not, they're fine.
They're not, they're very tight.
Okay, well, let me finish. I'm PC 1810 price at Patchway Police Station. Okay,
So
the front office has come out and said that they believe you are carrying a knife or some object in your pocket, okay?
Have you checked some CCTV?
Yep, that's why we've come out.
You checked CCTV?
So, yep.
What does CCTV show?
Well, I don't know if I've actually seen you on CCTV, but the staff in the front office have said you've been walking around, okay?
Okay, do you mind identifying yourself, please?
So, I am already done that. I'm PC 1810 price.
So I didn't hear you. And yourself?
4577, Neil Stockport.
So I said you're being detained under section 1
No,
of
okay,
PEPs,
these cuffs are really tight. Do you mind checking them, please? Especially the right hand one. The right hand one's very, very tight.
That's fine.
But I'm not being obstructive or anything. I'm not being like, I'm not hostile or
anything. Allegation you have a knife, so you should put your handcuffs to make sure everything's okay.
You should have checked CCTV in that first.
Criminal identifier spray.
Yeah, that's legal.
As I said, we've had somebody from the front office come out and say they thought you were
That's
someone.
preposterous. You should have checked CCTV in that first, gentlemen.
Unfortunately, we don't have an allegation we don't have time to do that because you have a knife.
I don't have a knife. It's ridiculous.
Of that,
No, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Do you mind?
CCTV.
Like, I'm not being hostile. There's no need for the cuffs.
Well, there is because we thought you might have a knife, buddy.
I don't have a knife, but you're going to find out I don't have a knife. Like,
so as I said previously, you're entitled to a copy of the search if you want one.
Yeah, I do want one. Yeah, because you've messed up massively.
What's the number for your bag, sir?
I'm not going to provide that.
Well, if you don't give it to us, we're just going to seize it.
We're going to seize it?
Yeah, because we've had an allegation you might have a knife on you.
Right, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll open it for you.
No, because you're in handcuffs. So tell me the number and I'll open it for you.
I can't do that. I'll open
Then
it
we're
for
going to
you.
seize it.
We're going to seize it for what?
Yes.
No grounds
Because
to seize
at the minute we've had an allegation you might have a knife. So
I'm more than
we'll
happy
arrest
to
you and
open
take you into custody.
I'm more than happy to
Well,
open
we'll
it.
arrest you or take you into custody unless you tell me the code for it. Because I'm not going to take it off. I'm not going to allow you to take it off.
Arrest me for what?
For possession of a blade article, because we've had that allegation. So a stop search.
I don't have a blade article.
If you're not allowing me to stop search you, that'll be what happens. Because then we'll have the reason to just take it off you and then we'll just cut it off.
And what happens if I get arrested and you don't find a knife?
Then you'll be de-arrested.
I'll be arrested. Preposterous. That's preposterous.
Do I have the code for it?
I'm legally obliged to give you the code.
Well, you're saying you're in stop search, so I'm giving you the options.
I understand that, but I'm legally obliged. What would happen if I didn't give you the code?
You'd be arrested.
For what?
For possession of a blade article.
I don't have a bladed article.
But I can't prove that because I can't see inside your bag. We've got an allegation that you do have one.
I'm not being hostile or anything. I'm more than happy to open it. There's no need for this.
Because there might be a knife in there, so I can't let you open it. Because if there's a knife in there, you could then take that knife and try and stab myself and my colleague.
I tell you what, you can hold the bag and I'll put the code in.
Still, just give me the code and we'll look into it for you.
I can't do that.
Then at this point, you're going to be under arrest, possession of a blade article. You don't have to say anything. I have mentioned one question, something later on in court, and if you do something in defence, necessity for arrest is prompt and effective and to prevent any harm, okay?
And if I open it, you de-arrest me. If I give you the code.
If you give me the code for it, I can open it and then we can de-arrest you if there's no knife in there. So, are you going to give me the code or should we take you into custody?
Again, like, for a bladed article.
So imagine if this was on your street, right? Someone just hurt someone with a knife. That's all we're trying to establish.
You're an auditor, we're clearly aware of that.
I'm an auditor.
Yeah, but
you know that.
Allegation we've got a knife on you, okay?
And you know that I'm an auditor.
You're trying to extend the situation.
So if you know I'm an auditor, what auditors carries knives?
I don't know because I don't know any auditors.
That's where you've messed up.
I don't know any auditors personally. So just because you're an auditor doesn't mean you're not carrying a knife.
You know what auditors do.
So, can you give us the security code for your bag, please?
Again, if I'm legally obliged to, then
Again,
you
I've
tell
given you
me.
the options. You are currently under arrest. Okay, so I'm not going to talk to you about it further. But if you don't give me the code for your bag, I'll take you into custody.
Okay.
And then the bag will be destroyed.
Okay, I'm going to do it because you've already arrested me, and you know I'm an auditor.
Okay, what's the code for your bag?
And because you know I'm an auditor, I'm going to sue the absolute living daylights out of these.
Okay.
These are messed up to the next degree.
So we can't just explain why we're
These are messed up to the next degree. These are absolutely screwed at this point. These
Well,
are
it's an
absolutely
allegation
screwed.
for them.
You're absolutely screwed. I've got these well and truly kippered right up, gentlemen. These are messed up to the next degree. You know I'm an auditor. You said that, and it's on camera.
We don't know if you're carrying a knife or not. That's the allegation.
You know. Listen, it's fine. I've got you boys. These are screwed. These are absolutely screwed.
That's fine.
I've got you well and truly kippered right up, gentlemen. You fell for it, hook, line and sinker. Tell me when you don't find a knife and get the cuffs off me, please. I'm trying to remain as polite and civil as possible, which is
That's fine. Thank you for that. It's very nice of you.
which is an absolute outrageous situation. Can I ask you a question?
Who's on to me or my colleague?
Just generally.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Do you guys sort of adhere to your policies and procedures?
So, you're currently being searched.
Yeah.
Section 1 of PACE.
I understand that, but do you adhere to your policies and procedures? Yes, no, yes, you do. Let me ask you one more question then.
Sure.
Why didn't you tell me your camera was running?
Because you can see it's on.
No. Policies and procedures, you said you follow them.
Fine, if you've got a problem with it, you can raise it, mate.
Why didn't you tell me though?
Don't need to.
Did you find a knife? Take your cuffs off, thank you. Yeah, take the cuffs off, thank you. I have my property back, please.
Go, that's cool.
Take the cuffs off.
You're arrested.
Yes.
A copy of the search.
Yeah, I would like a copy of the search. 100%. You have absolutely screwed up. Can I get my property back that you put in your pocket? I want it straight away, please.
There we go.
Say hello.
Get this one's
I'm
off.
going to make you famous today.
That's fine. You can do that. if you
You've
want.
messed up massively,
Yeah,
pal.
that's completely fine, sir.
Give me my property. No. No. Why are you shaking?
Would you like a copy of the search then, sir?
Listen, that's 3 times you've asked me. My answer's not going to change.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Then I will get you a copy of the search.
No, give me my property back. What are you playing at?
That's what I'm doing right now.
You're an absolute moron.
Okay, that's
Anyway,
fine. That's not very polite, though.
what was
That's
the
fine.
grounds for the search? I'm
There's a search
an
that somebody at
auditor.
the front office has come out and said there's a male in the front of the station possibly carrying a knife.
I'm an auditor.
So that's the reason for the search. Excuse me. Let me
Yes.
give you a copy of that search.
Yeah, I'll come with you. So you know I'm an auditor, and you still chose to handcuff me. Look at the state of that, guys. For the sake of a couple minutes.
When I first came and spoke
I told you they were too tight. So how did you know in the short brief of time between handcuffing me and starting the search?
So because of your reaction, you're trying to elicit a response. Because
I'm not trying to elicit a response. You didn't give me the chance to speak to you. You didn't give me the chance to speak to you. You came up and literally grabbed my arm and put me in cuffs. You went from 0 to 100 straight away. And if I had a knife, why would you do that? Why is that procedure for someone that's got a knife? A report of someone that's carrying a knife? Is that the way you're supposed to behave? Huh? So what was the grounds for the search again? Please just remind me.
The grounds of the search was that it had somebody from the front office come out and advise us that they'd seen a male out the front behaving suspiciously, possibly carrying a knife.
Right.
And
So
they've been able to see them sticking to
let me
their
ask you
pocket.
something. The place is
I'll take
peppered.
the
The place, don't touch me. The place is peppered with CCTV, gentlemen. Did you check that before you decided to come out and accost a member of the public? Did you do that first, gentlemen? But you didn't check the CCTV. You done no due diligence whatsoever. No, well, so stay on this side. Calm yourself down. You are absolutely screwed it big time today, pal.
Okay, fine.
Don't
All the
believe.
details will be on the
I'm going to sue the living daylights out of you boys, and I'll get you in professional standards as well. What an absolute carry on, guys.
Okay, so I've got your receipt.
Who made the allegation?
So the allegation.
Which one of them was it?
There's a member of staff in the front office that's seen you with a knife.
So which one?
I'm not going to tell you yet, sir, 'cause it's
All
not
right.
relevant.
Can I get the card number for the call then, please? It went out.
On there. So,
Is that a stop and
do you
search
want to
slip?
give us your names? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
No.
Do you want to give us your name?
I'm not a pal. You just literally
Okay, do you want to give
fucking
me your name?
you literally kidnapped me on the street.
So you don't want to give me your name?
No, I don't need to.
There's your
I don't need to give my name. You
receipt.
just
If you don't take it now, I'm just going to walk away with
you
it.
just kidnapped me on the street.
Have a good day, sir.
Mate, I'm going to see you in professional standards and then I'm going to sue your police. You're an absolute tyrant and a disgrace to the uniform. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, I hope you have a terrible day. You're the ones we need to get out. Bye. So yeah, it was absolutely bonkers. There is a second part to this video, guys, where it gets even worse. Now, the update I've got for you guys is in relation to the arrest as such. I was contacted by an Inspector Garth, even in Somerset Police, who said he wanted to speak to me about my complaint, take some details, I don't know. So I will oblige him. I'm going to have a phone call with him in the next couple of minutes, guys, and we'll see what he's got to say. I think it's going to be along the lines of him taking some notes and then filing it off to professional standards. I have no idea, but we'll see what he's got to say and take it from there. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, if you do enjoy this video, please like it, feel free to share it, and don't forget to pop down, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok. And we'll certainly see if we get any more laughs out of even in Somerset Police. I don't think we will, but who knows. But yeah, let's see what he's got to say.
Hello.
Hello, Inspector Garth.
Hello. Is that...
Speaking, yeah.
Hi, thanks for calling me.
No problem.
How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Surviving with the heat. Surviving with the heat.
Yeah, it's a bit much sometimes, isn't it?
It can be. We moan about it when it's cold, but when it's warm, we moan as well.
Yeah.
That's the British way, isn't it? Love a moan. But let's get to it. Thanks for being a bit flexible with your times. I know it's hard to get it nailed down sometimes when it's easiest to speak.
No worries.
And we'll jump right into it if that's okay, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've just read through your kind of your email to me again.
Yeah.
And what normally happens in these circumstances is Inspector gives you a call, as we are now. We talk about it, see if we can, if I can put our point of view across. I hear your point of view, and we can see if we think we can deal with it amicably.
Okay.
If you don't believe it to be so, if you'd like to express complete a formal complaint, then I can go through that form with you now, which I've kind of started typing away in the background.
Yeah.
So it's really completely up to you. I mean, I can talk to you about our side of events if you'd like.
Yeah,
we can go from there, or we can skip straight to just formally recording it and moving on.
I am more than willing to listen to your your side of the situation, but I need to be frank. Like, I don't think it'll make much difference to whether or not I want to progress it to a formal complaint.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
absolutely fine. Absolutely. Let's have a chat anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
So what we've got is, and I've looked at all the CCTV. We've managed to gather it all,
okay.
Body cams and the initial reports. And I was the duty inspector that day.
Okay.
So what we had is a member of front office staff who wasn't working at the time. So technically is a member of the public.
Okay.
Was near the kind of front office. I don't know whether they were leaving work or starting work. I'm not sure. Okay. It's immaterial, really. They've observed you kind of walking in between cars with a balaclava on, ducking between vehicles, and that whether it's right or wrong, whether you agree with it or not, she believed you had a knife sheath in your pocket. So I've seen the kind of CCTV of her looking at you and looking a bit scared, to be honest. She ducks in, and then she finds the first police officer she sees, which is PC Price. She says, I believe there's someone in the front parking lot who potentially has got a knife on them. Okay? PC Price, as I think any police officer would do, drops everything that he's doing and goes out. And from then on, the interactions happen. Because I know you weren't massively keen on the circumstances around that happened. And I saw that you put in part of your email that you thought we should have had a look at CCTV before. I think I would put this back to you and say, if the circumstances weren't the same, you didn't have a knife on you, but if there was a genuine report from someone who potentially had a knife outside of a police station, it's not prudent for a police officer to go and check a CCTV system to see if that person does. Because you don't know what on earth's going on. That police station has been attacked by people before. These front office staff are a bit twitchy because they're not police officers. They don't have any PPE on them. they have been at the very front of quite serious attacks at Patchway Police Station. So they're not of like, what's the right word? Strong fortitude sometimes is probably the best way I'd put it. We have to take what they say on face value. So I fully support what PC Price did and went out and challenged you. Are you still there? Sorry, no.
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm letting you finish before I sort of respond.
Fine. So I've looked at the use of force by PC Price. So I think you probably see him come in and turn your back and walk away. But he goes up to you and grabs your hands, basically, doesn't he, from behind, puts you into a rear stack handcuff technique. And from then on, he explains the grounds for your search, the reasons, what power he's using, who he is, basically what we have to do by law under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, Section 1 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. And then there is a bit of to and from about your backpack, isn't there?
Correct.
Which is, it's awkward, let's be honest. If we're looking for an item, we have to be certain that it's not on you. If we can't get into that bag, he's made the decision to arrest you because we can't get into that bag. I do understand why. He didn't really need to arrest you, to be honest. If you didn't want to give your lock, your combination to it, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act gives us powers to use force. We could have cut that lock off straight away without your permission.
I'm aware of that.
But he didn't. Because he couldn't he decided, I have the suspicion now, potentially, that, although he didn't know your name at the time, has a knife on him. That's all we needed, suspicion. And that gives him a bit more power to take you to a police station or to the custody suite and to search you. I think you guys come to some kind of amicable arrangement eventually. And from then, you give him the code, and then we see there's no knife. We go from there. Sorry, dog bark in the background. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Then a bit of back and forth about whether arrest was necessary, if I'm believing, and if we go from there. I think he then he says, off on your way, you're de-arrested, and off you go. I think he gives you the stop search receipt as well, which is good. I'm glad he did. Do you want to go into the next part, or do you want to interject then? Because they're two separate incidents, really, aren't they?
Well, yeah, so in terms of the first incident, I would say there's quite a lot of sort of contradictory things that have been said there. Namely, the initial report that I was seen carrying something, it contradicts what PC Price said on the time, and as I said, he sort of slightly changed the nature of that report a couple of times when I was speaking to him in the day in question. And the grounds for the search, again, have been completely undermined by the fact that PC Price openly stated that he knew I was an auditor, and as such he knows exactly what my purpose of being in and around that police station is that day. Furthermore, he'll be fully aware that that there is, as I said to you in the email, there's zero incident of any auditor carrying any type of offensive weapon that I'm aware of, especially a knife, when going about sort of filming at a police station. So he knew what I was doing there. He knew I was there to film, and my argument is that then the chances of it being credible that I might have an offensive weapon have pretty much vanished. So there's a few sort of contradictions there. As for the arrest, again, I wasn't arrested because he found a knife. I was arrested because I didn't provide a code to a bag. And you're right, he's well within his rights under Section 1 of PACE to bust open the lock. It's not a very sophisticated system. I'm pretty sure you could bust into it with a biro. But no, he chose to arrest me for being under suspicion of possession of an offensive weapon, despite not finding any evidence of such. And it was only when I was under arrest that I provided the code. I wouldn't say amicably. Certainly nothing about this interaction was amicable.
Yeah, that's an important use of words, maybe.
Yeah, so again, I think there's going to be a sort of big difference of opinion as to sort of what you guys perceive went on and what I perceive went on. And that's just that's just a matter of things as it stands at this moment in time. Now, you say about the sort of second incident. I'm sure I've sort of told you that I have lodged a complaint against that individual. I have had an officer from Professional Standards reach out to me with an email regarding this. So I don't know, like, if you want to sort of get into that just now or what.
Well, I mean, I was under the understanding I was going to speak to you beforehand, but if they preempted I don't want to step over their toes, because of course that's where it would go.
Yeah.
That's where. I do understand it's frustrating from your behalf. I understand, what you're there to do. I get that's, sort of what you want to happen, but it's, it's this catch-22, isn't it? We're told as police officers to be vigilant around attacks around police stations, and then you have someone committing, going about their lawful business, such as yourself, but we don't know that. And the difference of knowing you're an auditor and knowing and seeing someone who's there to generally attack is not sometimes clear to everyone, and everyone's opinion is different, everyone's suspicion, everyone's different, every single person's different in this circumstance.
I appreciate that, but the arrest took. Sorry, let me stop you there. He said within the first 20 seconds of apprehending me that I was an auditor or something like that, that he knew he was an auditor. So I repeat that the search didn't take place until after he had made that statement. The arrest didn't take place until after he had made that statement. He made that statement, he then knows what exactly I'm there to do. So again, that should sort of eliminate the grounds that he had down for the search.
It doesn't at all.
From your point of view,
if we're looking about it subjectively, you're saying that there's no documented cases of auditors having knives on you. I don't know that, and you don't know that. Let's be honest.
Right,
it's not a data that's out there, is it? That's not a.
I appreciate
some
that.
Auditors are idiots.
But
you've made commit offences.
But you have made the distinction yourself when you said that he didn't know whether you were there to attack someone at the police station or whether you were an auditor. There's a clear distinction there. So if he came up and he said, you're an auditor, I know you're an auditor, then he knows exactly what I'm there to do. And he knows...
But he doesn't know that you're also there for, if I was thinking about this, if I'm a terrorist, let's just say, like, it's a laughable circumstance and I hope it never happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a terrorist. I'm going to go and pretend to be an auditor today, because it's the way to get into a police station.
But Inspector Garth, let's
be honest, it's the same. It's the same thing.
I'm not going to agree with you on this, because first and foremost, thankfully, attacks on police stations are relatively rare in this country. Furthermore, what's even rarer than that is individuals coming up pretending to film at a police station to launch an attack. I don't think you'll find many recorded cases of that happening. So, again, I don't think we're going to agree on this. I think
it doesn't happen, and we are constantly trained.
Can you give me some examples? I'm more than willing to learn.
We're trained constantly on being vigilant for terror. We constantly are, and it would be negligible if we weren't. Let's be honest. We're police officers.
Appreciate that, but he didn't use the terror legislation.
No, he didn't. But you don't have to.
And not all knife attacks are terror related.
You don't have to use, if he's there for people who killed Lee Rigby and things like that. They're using knives, aren't they? You're not going to.
It's a completely different situation.
Well, I know, but now in the circumstances as we know them now, they are. I'm not agreeing with how the second interaction happened. I think the first interaction, I actually think PC Price did pretty well. I think he did very well. He explained what he's saying. He was polite throughout the entire time. He used the legislation properly. And if you're saying he shouldn't have done it because he knew you were an auditor, I'm not really. I don't buy that, to be honest.
Just looking at the bigger picture though, and again, like, I know we're not going to agree on this, but looking at the bigger picture, the report has changed several times since this incident took place. PC Price changed the reports, albeit very slightly, a few times during our interaction, and you're now giving a completely different account as to how that report was made. So again, like, I don't see it being credible.
How different are we talking? Well, from the way you see it.
Initially, it was a report from someone at the front counter, someone in the front counter, police staff in the front counter, that had seen me from the front counter walking about flashing a knife.
Yeah.
I believe the term used was I was flashing a knife at one point. I may be mistaken, but it was something along words to that effect. To now it being someone that was in the car park that seen what appeared to be a knife sheath in my pocket. That's then went into the front counter and made the report.
Answer on both accounts? Would you expect us to have a different response on either?
No, what I'm saying is it undermines the credibility of the report. Like, the report's completely... So, like, put it this way, if you've got a witness that attends court and changes their story several times, would you expect the jury to find him credible?
There's a lot of kind of body of evidence about how witnesses view certain incidents. They can their minds can change on what they saw and what they didn't. Credibility is not something that I'm going to get into. I think the credibility of someone who's ducking in and out of cars, and let's be honest, goading people.
I was goading people.
Well, that's what, the role of auditors is, isn't it? It's that you go around and try and get a police officer to come out and speak. So, not everyone's well versed on that. Again,
I think you're crudely mistaken as to what the role an auditor is.
We'll disagree on that one, because we well know what the kind of the whole purpose of it is.
No, that's your point of view. That's your opinion,
It is.
And unfortunately, unfortunately for yourself, you don't get paid to give an opinion on stuff like this. Like, it's whether
when I'm dealing with a complaint,
you're supposed to be. You're here to uphold the law, essentially. What I'm doing is immaterial so long as it's lawful. As soon as I'm doing something that's unlawful, then
so is an officer acting on suspicion. Of course they are.
But again, whether that suspicion is credible or not, it's going to be up to someone a lot more qualified than us to decide at this moment in time. So I think where we're at is that, listen, I'm obviously going to formally raise it as a complaint.
Let's crack on with that then.
Yeah, we're going to go around in circles. You were the first person to email me about
that. Okay, but you haven't formally complained to someone else and done this complaint form?
No, because you'd emailed me. I've not done the online complaint. I've done the online complaint for the other gentleman, but yeah, not for the first interaction, not for the stop search.
Okay, no problem. Are you happy giving me your personal details, Because I've got your names there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your date of birth? We're pretty much the same age, right?
Really?
September. What is your address? What's your preferred method of contact?
Email, please.
Email. Let's complain myself. So, incident location, Patchway Police Station. To be honest, a lot of this I'm just going to fill in the background, and if you're happy, I'm going to use exactly what you wrote on your email as kind of what is your complaint about.
That's completely fine.
Yeah, it's all in there, isn't it, what you've said?
Yeah.
So the next part of it says, what is your expected resolution? Now, there's a lot here, so I'll go through them, see what you think. So at the top, it starts with organisational learning. The second is individual learning. The third is criminal proceedings. The fourth is disciplinary proceedings. Number 5 is gesture of goodwill. 6, apology that something went wrong, an explanation, a return of property, a removal of information from police systems, policy procedure review, don't know, or other.
Can I select more than one?
You should be able to, but I don't think you're going to be able to. I can free type underneath it.
So disciplinary proceedings and an apology.
Disciplinary proceedings. disciplinary apology. Cool. Now I've got the police officers involved.
Yep.
Is it specifically PC Price, or is it about the other officers that were involved on the day?
No, PC Price was the one that detained me, searched me, and then arrested me. So
he sort of took the lead, didn't he?
yeah, I had no other issues with the other officers. There was only one other officer, I believe, and no, there was two other officers, but I didn't have any issues with them as such.
No worries, I will pop his name in. Were there any witnesses to the incident that we don't know about?
No, I don't think so.
No. Is there any special requirements or additional support needed for yourself?
No.
No. Form completed by me. Right. Ethnicity, how would you describe your ethnicity, sir?
White British?
White British. Are you in a marriage or civil partnership?
No.
I'm going to take it you're not pregnant.
No, not last time I checked.
Do you have any religious beliefs or faiths?
I'm a Christian.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. I will fill in the rest myself. It's just my details that'll be on there. And what this will happen now is it will populate and go off to professional standards about this.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions or things you want to chat about today?
Nah, I think we've covered everything, to be honest. Yeah, pretty much leave it for what it is just now.
Okay, all right. We eagerly await the release of your video. How exciting!
Do you know when it's going up?
We've seen it's on in a couple of days, isn't it?
First part, yeah, Saturday. So you'll see it from there.
Brilliant.
All right, well, enjoy the watch.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye bye. So yeah, folks, what do you think? Again, more contradiction. Like the report of me waving a knife around has changed again, as I expressed to Inspector Garth in that call. I will certainly put it through the complaints department. I don't think they're going to come up and uphold my complaint by any stretch of imagination. You know what they're like at marking their own homework, but we'll certainly see what happens. When that's resolved, I will be able to escalate it with a solicitor and start civil proceedings in relation to that stoppage search. But time will tell. I thought it was interesting how he said that PC Price was within his rights to burst open into the bag, and of course he was. I've had it at multiple places. Usually they opt not to do that, but yeah, it is what it is. So obviously Inspector Garth's got his own opinion as to what an auditor is and what we're there to do. Whether he's right or not, I'm obviously going to disagree. Some will agree with him, some won't, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, that's the update, guys. I gave them the opportunity to explain themselves. I still don't think it's credible, the report. I still don't think that they're going to deal with it in an appropriate manner. But if I get an apology and whatever else, then fair enough. We'll see. Time will tell. So if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please like it. Feel free to share it. And you know what to do. Pop down, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button if you're watching on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok. I would really appreciate it. It really does go a long way, guys. I can't stress it enough that if you continue to subscribe, it really does help motivate me and keep this show moving. But yeah, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.